for your boy Napoleon B. Mites.
Thank you, Bellz.
Hey, it's B. Mites. Freezer. Yeah, yeah. Hey, let me put myself up front real quick. So, today's freezer is from comedian to track star. We give you Cat Williams.
Please. Please. 4.97. Please. That's an unofficial time.
We give you comedian to track star, Cat Williams. And with Cat Williams having changed professions, it seems like he's going to go to the NFL. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Cat Williams coming to the field, number 43. 43. Even though I think he's older than that, to represent his age. How old is Cat Williams actually?
Cat Williams' actual age? I'm going to guess 47.
You said 47?
Yeah, I'm guessing 47.
Even though I said I think he's older than 43, I'm going to go with 43.
He's 51. Oh, he's 52. Oh. He's 52 and he'll be 53 in September.
Okay. So he's a year younger than my parents. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he looks his age.
Yeah. But at the same time, comedians age older than most people, in my opinion.
Why is
that? Because of all the bars they go to.
You talking about alcohol?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Some age gracefully. Some don't. Some don't.
Sure, some people just got it and some people just don't.
Exactly.
Some people wrinkle all the way up and other people somehow just stay smooth.
Exactly. But yeah, Cat Williams.
He had his
Cat Williams
button like 5 seconds after 0.5 seconds after he started.
Nah. I think it's a legit time. But we should challenge him to go to the combine to see how fast he actually is.
Oh, hey. Is the combine still happening?
Yeah. Cat Williams, we challenge you. Anyway.
So I saw that a player broke the 40-yard dash time at the combine.
Hold that thought. And that was being my freezer. Okay, continue.
Okay, so you're listening to Poetry Slam with Bellz.
And your boy Napoleon B. Mike.
We're have back. A super pack. Oh yeah, we're back, but we didn't. Yeah,
we didn't leave, but we're back.
So
we're back for the second time today. There we go.
Yes. So in this episode, we're going to acknowledge International Women's Day, and we're going to talk about Black business getting better. We're also going to talk about how okay, we're gonna do poetry news. We're gonna say some poems, but they're not really relevant to the holiday or really to like our
No,
topics.
no,
Is your
no,
poem relevant
no,
to the holiday?
no, huh?
Is your poem relevant to the holiday?
No, not at
Oh,
all.
okay. So we're gonna talk a lot about business today. We're gonna talk about Black business getting an opportunity at federal contracts. We're gonna talk about um
Tyson
Kylie
versus
Jenner
Jake
being
Paul.
accused. Huh?
Oh, nothing.
Kylie Jenner being accused of like brand ideas for her business. We're going to be talking about the money moves of Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. We're going to be talking to TayDZ with poetry news, and he's going to talk about another house bill for artists to get paid. You know, we're all about getting paid here on Poetry Slam. So we've got a lot of like business, finance topics today because cream, cash rules everything around
Hey,
me.
hey,
Money
yeah,
is the key of getting women higher up in power. You know, that's interesting.
no.
That's a part of the key because you know a part of the reason it's been a man's world for so long is because men have been allowed to work a lot longer than women. You know, like when women
No,
got in the
no,
workforce, things have
no.
shifted a lot. Like our roles in the home different. Like more women are breadwinners than ever.
Honestly, it's well. Sometimes it's because of double standards.
How do you mean?
'Cause some double standards allow women to get away with more things than men, and
What
vice versa, and vice versa. Hold up.
listen, you know what? You might get yourself in trouble. So be specific. Be specific. What are you saying?
Okay, now, hold up. Yeah, no. Hold up. I'm speaking a lot of generals right now. I don't want any women to come attack me. I'm all for women. I love women. That sounded sexist. Hold up. Anyway, let me get this train back on track. Um, I there was something a tweet that I heard, or a TikTok that I heard that that was it said men um women can say no to a man with a lot of kids, but as soon as a man says no to a woman with a lot of kids, it's something about it's a problem. That's a
Okay, I
double.
feel like that ideology comes from when women have a lot of kids. First of all, if you're a woman and you have given birth to a child or several children, that is physical evidence that you have had sex. And that means, like, socially, I think for a long time that lessens your value, like, as a woman. You know, like, it's still a negative thing of, like, getting a woman who like has been quote unquote ran through, has a lot of miles on her. So I feel like that is why that double standard like exists. Like if you're a woman with like kids, you know, I think it has to do with that. Like I think there's still the thing of
Honestly,
oh, you know, men don't want to like be with somebody who has be with a woman who's been with somebody else even if it's just one other person.
yeah, but if if you really think you're gonna like how she, if y'all vibe, if you just meet her on a random night and y'all vibe, and then like after date 2 or 3, you find out she has a whole bunch of kids, should you
What's
just
a
stop
whole bunch
dating?
of kids? Like, are we talking like two
Like,
or three, or are we
no,
talking like
no.
from 30 years ago, like 8 and 9 and 10? Like, what's a bunch?
Like 5 or 6.
That's a lot. Yeah, nowadays that's a lot. If you have more than 4 kids in this day and age, yeah, you have a lot of kids.
Yeah. So, say a man has 5 or 6 kids. True, they might be all by different women, but he got 5 or 6 kids. It, or the man or the woman who has 5 or 6 kids by multiple men. Either way, I think it shouldn't matter. That's what I was getting at. But some people have a problem with it. I don't know.
So you're saying that it's okay for, well, in the tweet is saying that it's a problem that women can turn down a man with
It
a
was a
lot of
TikTok.
a TikTok, but a man
Yeah.
shouldn't turn down a woman with a lot of kids. I mean, another thing is here's also
No. It was a, a woman can turn down a man with a lot of kids and it not be a problem. But as soon as a man turns down a woman with a lot of kids, it's a problem.
Okay, yeah. So another thing is, I think a part of the double standard is like women are, for a long time, I think, are more responsible for like child care. You know, I think like where the mom goes, usually that's where all the kids go. Like when mom goes to the store, all the kids are going to the store with her. But when dad goes to the store, all the kids are back home with mom, or you know, they're where they are. Like I think, you know, dads are able to fly solo more, but I feel when you walk into, like, as a woman, when you walk into a situation with someone else's kids, you're like more so taking on the responsibility of those kids, even though they're not yours. Versus like, you know, if you're a man walking into a situation, it's different. You know, where the expectations are different, even if that's not your intention. You know, like, and I also think there's like a standard of like, the idea of the deadbeat dad is a lot more popular than like the deadbeat mom. So it's a thing of, oh, you know, it just sounds so much worse because people always beat up on a deadbeat dad, but people
True.
don't really beat up on like deadbeat moms. So it's just like a popular idea to like be down on, you know, men who don't take care of kids.
But honestly, I think it wouldn't. It doesn't matter
I,
if if you vibe with somebody and they got a lot of kids, they kids shouldn't matter. If you actually want a relationship with the person, sorry, it just blew me. And then because it was just like it shouldn't matter.
I will be
I'm
honest with
sorry.
you. I don't think I'm grown enough for that situation. Like me as I am, if I met a man and he had like 2 or more kids and I don't know him like that, like we just met, we just went on 2 dates. Even if I like him, I'm probably gonna think to myself, I don't like him like that. I'm not gonna step into that situation. Cause like I don't want to like that's a lot of responsibility. Like I would just think to myself, yeah, he's cool, but you know, that's a situation. Like, so for
Hey,
me, I would say no to that. But I understand what you're saying. Like, there shouldn't be a double standard, you know, like, one is not better or worse than the other.
exactly, exactly.
So for
So
you, like, if you like met a woman and you really liked her and she had 4 kids and 3 baby daddies, would you continue?
it wouldn't matter because that the kids until yes if we're dating, I have to take her responsibility as a kid to the kids, and if the kids' fathers are in their lives, that relationship into consideration.
That's
But
a lot. Like the kids are one thing, but the baby mamas, the baby daddies, like that's another thing. Like that's a. I don't
hey,
know.
I
Maybe it's
just
because I'm an introvert. I don't want all that people interaction because it's like that they're a part of your family too. Like the men that are their fathers, like you know, you would have to have some association with them, even if it's not a full on friendship. So it's like that's drama. I mean, it's not always super negative drama, but it's like it's more, more people.
Yeah. Did you send the link to TayDZ?
I didn't send a link to TayDZ.
Uh
I think it's the old link. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna send it though.
Oh, okay. I think we got a little bit off topic. So while you're
Yeah,
sending that,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got way off topic. My bad. That was my fault. That was my fault.
Oh, that was you. That was
Yeah.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I took the tangent.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What? Okay, let's get into my first topic, which is Black business gets better business opportunities with federal contracts. So, the Small Business Administration launched a revamped program to help more Black entrepreneurs get federal contracts. So this is just a quick preview to what TayDZ is going to talk about later in the show that has to do with the new House bill of artists getting paid for more streaming. They're not directly related, but I do want to say on this topic that we're getting movements like this because of the presidential primaries. Like, I think Biden is trying to do more or time this a little bit, to help his process of getting reelected. What's with the noises? What?
Look, Biden's too old to be president.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I think he's drama free. Like, I won't say drama free, but he's less negative drama than the most popular Republican candidates. So, okay. So the Biden
drama free.
What?
You tripped up the steps.
Putting out sneakers talking about, these are gonna get Black votes because Black people like sneakers. No, he's helping to make things for like substantial life changes with like the Black community and other communities of color.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue.
The Biden administration set a goal to small minority-owned businesses secure significantly more federal contracting programs by fiscal year 2025, next year. So this is from the Department of Labor. Just 12% of the 23% of businesses registered to receive federal are owned by Black people. So that's a small amount. This is a disparity, and it's been addressed by the Biden-Harris administration. So they're going to help close the chasm with Empower to Grow. They're calling it E2G, which is a newly revamped training program from the Small Business Administration that aims to improve scaling readiness and insight into federal contracting processes for smaller minority-owned businesses. So this is a way for these type of businesses to get access to federal contracting, which can be more money and more opportunities for these businesses to grow. Okay, no comment on that. So I'll just keep telling you about it. So the House stated they plan to expand access for minority-owned small businesses to the over $700 billion spent through federal contracts each year. So this growth, small business growth, unlocks paths to prosperity and generational wealth building in America, which is why the Biden-Harris administration continues to prioritize equity and leveling the playing field so small business owners from historically underrepresented groups can successfully compete for over $700 billion in small business eligible federal contracts. So Administrator Guzman said this in a press release. So this is a huge step toward our goals in like growing business, and minority owned is not just like Black, Latino, Asian, it's also women.
Right. Yeah. So that, I mean, man, that's cool. That's cool.
Be right. You should be very interested in this.
I am.
Money. It has to be.
I am. I am, but if Congress approves this, but they couldn't approve, I mean, I'm all for this. In fact, I need this, but I also needed my student loans paid.
Well, if Biden gets more time, maybe he can revisit that. I don't know. When TayDZ comes in, he can say what needs to happen in the House and Senate for his push to actually get approved. But with more time, maybe we can get that.
With more time, I'm gonna be paying already, and it won't matter.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So,
compete for $7 billion.
$700 billion.
$700 billion. My bad.
Yeah.
That's fire though. That's cool.
Yeah. So just to be clear, Empower to Grow is a training program. It's an acceleration program. It's to help ready more businesses and build a diversified supplier base, increase competition, innovation, and performance in the federal marketplace. So it's tailored to develop the critical skill set needed to win government contracts. Like, that's the whole point of it. And this is a big opportunity for a lot of small businesses. So glad to share that news. We can do a poem, or we can talk about somebody who has made their brand into a business, Shannon Sharp, and how a lot of athletes like him, have podcasts and shows.
Yeah.
And are changing the media landscape. So
okay. Let's do the topic.
Oh, you want to do the topic? Okay.
Yeah.
So, this kind of relates to Cat Williams because people are really talking about Cat because of how he went off on Shannon's podcast Club Shay Shay back in January.
Right. And that's why he's back in the media.
Right. So Shannon Sharp made more money from Cat Williams' interview than he ever made in an NFL season. People are still speculating on how much money Shannon has made from his Club Shay Shay video with Cat. Do you mind pulling up how many views that interview had? That video had 64 million views, and it was posted just a little over 2 months ago.
All right, let me take a look.
But it was a huge payday for Shannon, and in a new episode of Nightcap, Shannon was talking to Ocho about how much he made from the interview. So, quote, Shannon said, "Everybody was talking about how much money I made during the Cat Williams interview. I just got the check. So whatever you think I made, 3 times it. So if you think I made 500,000, 3 times it. If you think I made $1 million, 3 times it. If you think I made $2 million, 3 times it." And then Shannon added, "I made more money on Cat Williams alone than I made in any year that I played in the NFL."
Jeez. He has the views on this video are 61 million.
61 million on the full interview. Okay, I thought I saw 60. But 61. Okay, cool. But you know what? That's the interview. They have like clips that they separate from the main interview, and some of those clips have several million views.
Yeah, I can imagine, because just them alone, just those 2 clips alone. I mean, just those 2 alone clips can be made at any moment. With Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams, anything they can say could be a clip, could get clipped.
So, how much do you think Shannon made from the interview? Like,
I can imagine he made 85 in the latter years of his career.
I'm talking about from this Cat Williams interview.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If he's saying he made more than he's made in any of his career, in his career in the NFL, I would say he was making probably in today's money he was making 85 mil.
So that's how much you think he made from the Cat Williams interview?
I'm gonna say he made 120 mil from the Cat Williams.
3 times that. 3 times that is the end. Let me pull out my calculator. You think he made 360 million? I think that's too much. I'm guessing he probably made like 87 million off that video. So let me 3 times that. 261 million is maybe what he really made.
That's what I'm saying. TayDZ was trying to enter.
Keep him out. Bring him in because we need his guess on how much he thinks Shannon made off that Cat Williams interview.
Yeah. We'll see in a minute. His phone is slowing him down.
Oh my gosh, I can't go down on this article. But in 2000, Shannon made $5 million from the NFL. If that helps you, I wish he would just say just tell us, Shannon. He's probably still making money off of it though.
But the NFL, hold up, he was making $5 million in the NFL.
Hold on a second.
What's that in today's money? Because that don't sound right. I feel like a tight end of his caliber would be making
Okay, but this was in 2000. In 2000, 24 years ago, Shannon made $5 million when he signed with the Baltimore Ravens, though $4.5 million of that was a signing bonus. Over other years, his earnings varied from $110,000 to $3 million. So really, in his media career, Shannon made a lot more than he did in the NFL. Yes, he was paid well in the NFL, but remember, he played in the 90s and the early 2000s. And he was a tight
but
end.
that was good. That was good for that year. That was good money for then.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say. In today's money, what would he make? What would he have made in the NFL?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So
probably.
So that's yeah. So I was saying 85 mil. He would be making in today's. He would have made in today's money of in the NFL. So I'm saying 120, a cool 120 off of this video.
Yep. Okay. So that's that story, and it kind of connects to the fact that athletes are changing the media landscape. It seems like lots of former athletes have podcasts now and are having some important conversations. So Cam Newton has no interest in what Stephen A. Smith says. That was his latest quotable from his podcast. Well, actually, he made an appearance on the podcast. The big podcast with Shaq.
Wow. Cam Newton has been doing a podcast ever since he retired, or ever since he didn't retire yet though, did he? I don't think he retired yet.
I don't think he announced a retirement. I don't even know if he's a free agent. I mean, I don't know if you have to list yourself as that, but there was no retirement announcement that I know of from Cam after he finished with the Patriots.
Yeah, so he's still in the NFL, probably working out and doing this podcast. So he's still seeing it. That's a rare, I mean, not really seeing it, but he has seen it, and it's not like it's been years since he's seen it. So he knows what he's talking about for the most part. So
on Shaq's The Big Podcast, Cam says the truth of the matter is people are leaning into receiving their content in a different way, digesting it in a different way. If I want to hear about basketball, I want to hear from Shaquille O'Neal, not respectfully Stephen A. Smith. And it
Fact.
seems like more and more like athletes, more, I don't want to say celebrities because I won't say somebody like, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson has a podcast. But it seems like more people who already have substantial popularity in the social media space are starting podcasts, and they're having a lot of success at it because they already have a built-in audience instead versus somebody who, you know, wasn't known for anything except for, you know, posting videos or having podcast episodes. So what do you think about people who are already very popular starting an OnlyFans and getting all this money really quick, or starting a podcast or a YouTube channel and just growing really fast and people just wanting to watch them instead of someone really starting from the ground?
It makes sense. I mean, as far as the podcast is concerned, if if a football player, like Camden, is making a podcast about football, then that makes sense.
Do you think
And of course it's gonna bring more people to the podcast because it's somebody who's actually seen the field and not just talked about it from a higher from a studio. Is more people who it's somebody. It's from the perspective of somebody who's actually seen the field and seen what's going on. So of course, it's gonna draw more attention.
So Cam went on to say he thinks Stephen A. Smith is a good guy, but he wants to listen to former players who have had real experiences about things. So would you rather listen to a former basketball player talk about basketball, or do you like a journalist's perspective more?
I like the having had infield or on court experience.
I mean, one thing I do like about Shannon's takes is when he like actually analyzes like different moments of the game. Even though I don't understand everything he's saying, but when he actually uses the jargon and explains the plays and breaks it down, or he'll say something like, you know, why would you keep playing cover two and that's not working? You should have done this. You know, I think it's really cool to hear stuff like that because it sounds really different from, you know, like a review of the game. You know, it sounds more
Yeah,
like analysis.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes sense. It makes sense that there's because for me personally, I would want to listen to an actual sports person or a sports player than a journalist. Like review the sport rather than just give an analysis. Like give actual like play by play or break it down for people that they can actually understand. All right,
Yeah, I
sports
definitely agree with
analysts,
you. Oh, sports.
sports
Well, I
analysts,
think. Uh,
sports analysts aren't able to break it down for you like that because they haven't actually played the sport.
That's true. And I think when it comes to any form of talk show, it just depends on what perspective you prefer. You know, I think it's really cool that so many different perspectives are getting into the pool, and it's really important that everybody's findable. Like people who are more popular are going to be more findable than people who are less popular. So hopefully the algorithms don't shift it so much that it's too hard to find, you know, smaller or more niche perspectives on certain topics. But I do want to go back to Shannon and when he said when he was receiving criticism for his interview with Kat, he said, I told you when I first started this, I said I'm going to try to bring you some of the biggest celebrities, entertainers, and athletes I can bring. And I'm going to allow them to have a conversation and maybe tell you something or share something with you that they wouldn't, that they've never said. He continued, that was it. I never said I was a journalist. I never professed to be a journalist. I'm an entertainer. So some people who are doing these interviews are just that, entertaining. And
Exactly.
that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a little frustrating to have somebody who's already famous like come in and swoop up your viewers or swoop up your audience. But at the same time, you gotta respect it.
Good content is good content.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta take it as my content wasn't good enough, and then use that to motivate you to motivate yourself to make better content or put up the production value in your stuff.
Putting up production value costs money, and sometimes your content is good, but you need marketing, and marketing can cost money. Word of mouth can be free, but people need to see your stuff. So
Exactly.
sometimes it becomes a thing of the system, or like once again the algorithm needs to shift in your favor. I
Yeah.
guess that's when they say it takes a little bit of luck.
Well, if if your content is what they watch primarily anyway, it your content should show up on the algorithm first anyway. Or in terms of YouTube, when you watch something over and over again, yeah, it'll come up with videos like, or it'll come up with something like that, but it will come up after the video or under the video. Your videos are what they're going to watch primarily anyway.
Yeah. I think uniqueness is more important now than ever because so many people are doing the same thing. So you have to bring something truly different
Mm-hmm.
to like stand out. And we're more than halfway through our show. So we've got to do a little bit of poetry. So I'm going to start with my poem. It's going to be a short one. And it's called Somebody Old.
Hmm. Somebody old. Okay. Um, that, that seems to be. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay. This poem is a little bit of a work in progress. So be patient, please. And I'm going to cut this music because. Oh, wait. Bima, did you cut it? Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Don't laugh. This is rough. Somebody old. Get me away from somebody old. I'm trying to go over the speed limit. Somebody old is driving slow on the road. Truly cut from a different mold. Always giving cash tips. Somebody old. Old ways that nobody remembers. Gotta love somebody old. They're truly from a different era. Okay, Bellz.
Woo! Somebody old.
uh, in here. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a little, I guess, poetic moment inspired by doing Instacart and having to like deliver to old people. And I actually like delivering to old people because I feel like I really helped somebody. Like, okay, this
Yeah.
person would have really struggled in the grocery store. They actually needed help.
Right.
So, and then like when shopping, I can tell when it's somebody old. Like they get a bunch of canned goods. I feel like our
Old people.
generation, yeah, we get like freezing
Snaps to
food.
old people.
They're truly of a different time. Like just different sayings, just different habits. They'll get a bunch of the same thing, like, 3 packs of bologna. But like us, we'll get like turkey, ham, like variety.
Facts.
But now they
Facts.
don't need that. They get what they like and they get it on repeat.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
And like they'll invite you into their house. They're like, "Oh, put this in my house." But people now, they're like, "No, leave it at the door." They're not that personable. They don't want you to step foot anywhere.
Yeah, because they feel like I can do it.
Yeah. People tip in the app. Everything's electronic. The old, they still carry cash. They got cash. They handle everything like it's the pizza man. Like, okay,
Huh?
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's their personal pizza person.
Yeah. And then on the road, they're driving at their own speed. It doesn't, the sign, that's not their limit. Their limit is like 7 miles per hour less.
Mhm. I you know what I hate? I hate when people are in the fast lane and I'm driving fast.
It's like the left lane is for passing.
The left lane is the NASCAR lane. Either get in it and go, or get in it, move up in front of the person you were going to move in front of, and get right back over.
Look, some people do a little too much in that left lane because there have been times I was going 80 in the left lane. Like, girl, move. Like I'm going 80. Like you want to go 95, 100 miles per hour. I'm not the crazy one. Right? Like I'm not the irritant. You're the one trying to do triple digits on the interstate. That's not appropriate. Like, don't treat me like I'm in the way going 80. 80?
You are in the way going 80. Get over.
Are you kidding?
Get back over. If you're in front of, if you have space to get over, get over.
Hmm.
Let the fast people actually go how they want to go.
80? Okay. If you're
Yeah.
on 70, Interstate 70, I think the speed limit is like 60 miles per hour or 70 miles per hour. I think you can go 70 miles per hour on 70. So if I'm going 80, that's
Hey,
moving. Like going 80 is fast.
you're going too slow.
Okay, you can give yourself a headache going 100 miles per hour. Like
Yeah.
100 miles per hour is actually too fast. Like, can you really see? Can you concentrate? Like, unless you're like really focused. Like, that's dangerous for everybody.
You're going too slow.
Mm.
Uh, you're going too slow.
I'm going too
You-
slow.
You're going too slow, okay, bro?
Yeah, I am. I'm just gonna keep going my Miss Daisy 80 and just let everything fly.
Hey, after COVID, everybody started speeding. After after COVID, everybody started speeding more because they were like, the cops ain't gonna pull me over.
So in Maryland, a lot of people have found a loophole in the law with car insurance that if you have, they get Virginia tags so that they don't
Yeah,
have to pay car insurance. But they're cracking down on that now, and they also added more speed traps in the city in Baltimore City, and they've added a stricter law for speeding on the interstate. But that stricter law, like cracking down on speeding on the interstate, is actually necessary because I think it was last summer that a woman killed 6 construction workers because she was speeding on 695.
That's
So
her fault. That's
we
her fault. That no, that's something that would only happen to her or somebody that wasn't paying attention at all.
I mean, it was already a construction zone. So in a work zone, they already have signs posted. You know, this
Right,
is the
slow
speed
down.
limit. They clock you. They say photo enforced. Like if there's construction happening, and you know they have the work trucks out, you shouldn't be speeding. There are people out, but she was
Right.
speeding, and the speeding allowed her to more easily be careless. She got over too fast, clipped the car in front of her, and she lost control of her own vehicle and killed 6 people. All those people did was show up to work that day and they died. They were killed because this
And,
woman was acting like B Might and in the triple digits.
oh,
I'm just kidding. I don't know how fast she was going. But I just feel like, yeah, if it's a construction zone, just
yeah, if it's a
be
construction zone,
calm.
of course, of course, drop to 35 when it's a construction zone.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're off topic again. I don't know when TayDZ is getting in. Um, I have another topic. Unless you want to share a poem, be mine.
All right, I'm ready to share my poem.
You
All
know
right, let's
what?
do
That's just
this.
like you. I share a poem, and then you want to have the last verse. Okay, fine. Butt me out. Let me just turn off my mic.
Untitled poem. I've got adamantium bones and gamma radiation running through my veins that makes me unstoppable. That makes me able to heal in a second. It makes me feel stronger, even though I'm going through something. It makes me feel like I can run through blades of glass and not get hurt, but I know I still get hurt. I got the cuts on my arms. They didn't heal properly yet. B Mike.
Poem. 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 Thank you,
Poem.
right? That was great. Great
Thank
working
you, thank you.
progress.
Yeah,
I liked how you started it. It reminded me. I don't know what chemical you said. Something in your bones.
adamantium.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's the second. Well, in the world of Marvel and X-Men, it's the second strongest metal.
Oh,
Vibranium is the first.
so that part of your poem reminded me of a quote from Fight Club. I ran until my muscles burned and my veins pumped battery acid. Then I ran some more.
Hmm.
So I just thought that verse was very visual and I liked it. I liked what you did there. And I never forgot that quote from Fight Club because I like that too because it's very relatable. Like you know that muscle burn. I just thought, yeah, that's a good way to put that. Very visual,
Thank you,
or
thank you,
visceral. Hmm.
thank you.
Yeah, it's a strong start to your poem. So we're looking to hear the end.
Yeah.
What's the poem?
Uh, I haven't written that one yet at all. So that was
Mhm.
all off the dome. So yeah,
Oh,
that was
all
all.
right.
Yeah, that was all off the dome.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
If you had put it that way, we wouldn't have known. Okay.
yeah. All,
All right.
all, all off, all off the old noggin. All right,
Okay. So,
and it's time for TayDZ.
Tang.
Hey,
I don't want to be big.
hi.
Anyway, hi TayDZ, how's it going today? Is that kind of day?
It's that kind of day.
You had to wear the Eagles hat.
It's been that kind of week.
Uh,
It's going to continue to be that kind of week heading into next week, but it's okay because TayDZ knows how to make his money.
B Might has been working long hours too. I've been working from 11:15 to like what 4:30, 3:30, 4:15.
Nah.
I've been working all week to get to poetry news.
You want poetry news?
It's time for poetry news.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Hello, folks. It's poetry news time today. Well, make me big. Thank you. This is my moment. I'm not a man who always talks about his interests a lot, and that's mostly because I care in other people's interests. However, for the first time in a minute, TayDZ will talk about something that is near and dear to his heart. For you see, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, one of my absolute idols has passed away. Yes, indeed. Mr. Akira Toriyama of Dragon Ball fame has passed away. The man behind one of the biggest, not just anime, but series, one of the biggest franchises in human history. Do you want to know how influential Dragon Ball is? Let me tell you right now. I go to work today. I see my regular coworkers. I see two dudes who I've never met before. They're just people coming who came in today from other properties. And my coworker D, he goes, "You heard the news right now?" Of course, I already had heard the news. And I'm just sort of like playing coy, like, "Oh, I mean, what do you mean?" He was like, "Heard the bad news?" "Oh yeah, there was State of the Union last night." "Yeah, the bad news. Ha ha ha." And then I go, "Yeah, no, I heard Akira Toriyama passed away." One of the techs behind me turns his head and goes, "Toriyama passed away?" And he sits down from during the middle of his work, holds his hands like this, and just contemplates for minutes. Do you want to know the effect that series had on young black men and young Latin American men? The fact that a grown man had to sit down and contemplate his life, contemplate where he was, the fact that he ain't even heard about it. This is one of the biggest passings of a creator I think I can remember in my life. People remember when Michael Jackson passed away, but there was so much fanfare. Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st, and we didn't hear about it until last night. And when we heard about it, yeah, he passed away on March 1st from acute subdural hematoma, aka his brain bleeding. And we didn't hear about it.
It's the 8th. We just now hearing about it. That's
They
crazy.
kept it under wraps. They let him pass. They let his family mourn in privacy. He had his funeral service, and then he was, and then they were like, okay, the family is done mourning. It is time for the rest of the world to mourn. And without Dragon Ball's influence, and I feel like it's so understated, without Dragon Ball's influence, a lot of what we see in modern Western media, like we're talking about at a Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Game of Thrones, bigger than Stranger Things, bigger than Breaking Bad, bigger than, all these series that we've seen. Dragon Ball is at an iconic level that is so hard to replicate, that is so hard to even put into words on how influential it is. But the fact that we in the West watch anime is a testament to what Dragon Ball did. Because Dragon Ball wasn't the first anime to come to America, but it was the biggest to come to America, and it allowed other anime to break through because it broke down the walls. And to give a little story that I learned about Toriyama, he actually didn't even start off doing art. He started off doing marketing. He was a marketing guy at an ad agency, quit his job, strapped for cash, said, okay, here's a manga contest with for some money. I'll enter it. Enters the contest, doesn't win. But one of the publishers there was like, keep sending stuff. I'll try to publish as much as I can. He keeps sending stuff. He gets some stories published. They're all reviewed badly. And Toriyama's just sitting there like, I refuse to quit until I make something that people like. And that's when he made Dr. Slump, which was one of his biggest anime at that point. Sold 35 million issues. Then he was like, I want to do a new story, but I don't know what to do. And it angered him that he couldn't figure out what else he wanted to do. And, publishers were yanking him one way or another. He got so frustrated. And then a publisher said, hey, do a martial arts story. Yep, Dr. Slump right there. He said, do a martial arts story. So he does a martial arts story. And the story was called Dragon Boy. But that little small test story became Dragon Ball. And none of this would have ever happened if A, he didn't take a chance on himself, and B, as cliche as it sounds, he just quite frankly refused to give up in the face of Dragon Boy. That's the initial, that's the pilot, if you want to call it a pilot, of Dragon Ball. Yeah, so there's a lesson there. There's a lesson there. Legitimately do not give up, because even if things seem so difficult, if you take a chance on yourself and you keep going for it, it can only go up. It can only go up. So, look, there are a lot of things I could have talked about, but this one hits my brain the most. And this is about a creative. This is about a creator. This is about an artist. So I felt like I needed to give props to one of the biggest artists of all time. So rest in peace, Toriyama. You've influenced the way that I write and the way that I consume media. And I could spend a whole hour talking about it. But I'm just poetry news.
What was that?
Poetry news.
No! It's not over. We need to hear about the bill. We hyped it up.
Oh.
Oh. Sure, sorry.
Oh
I got
yeah.
so emotional. I forgot about the belt. Look, man. Look, okay? I was emotional.
Me too. Me too. I didn't even watch Dragon Ball Z like that, but I felt the emotion from how you was explaining it. So
Yeah, man. That stuff hit me as a little kid, man. Look, young black men all across the country on their knees right now. Man. But I will talk about this bill.
wait, pause.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, what did you just say? What did
I will
you
talk
say?
about the bill.
No. Before that,
Young black men right now are on their knees mourning.
no, you just said on their knees. Anyway, pause. Now
Sorry.
continue.
If I could push your screen just off the side right.
Hey,
There is a new squashed.
okay.
They wanted me to
Tay
move
Tay
on.
requested that. I don't know what.
Anyway.
If
Double back.
a new House bill put up by Representatives Rashida Tlaib and Jamal Bowman, two fairly progressive candidates in Congress right now. Basically, they're putting up a bill to try and bypass production companies, and give money to artists directly, straight up. So, like, it's called the Living Wage for Musicians Act. Basically, instead of how it is right now, everybody gets a cut of your money. When you upload something to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, SoundCloud, I guess. Not please don't.
Hey, SoundCloud will be fired sometimes. Hold up.
Look, man, if you're like 15 and you just discovered, Xanax, then sure, but like,
is that even still the thing? Like, I think SoundCloud is for the cool kids now. I think that's Tumblr.
Calm down.
Anyway, Tumblr.
The new royalty fund will not replace the current streaming payout model, but add a separate payment. The current system divvies up streaming revenues among artists and musicians on a pro rata basis. The pro rata model has garnered criticism from some in the industry, who say it unfairly benefits the most successful artists with the highest streaming tallies. Royalties from the new fund would similarly be distributed proportionally to track streams, with a few key distinctions. First, labels and other intermediaries would not take a cut before the money reaches artists. Second, individual tracks would stop generating money from the royalty fund after hitting a cap, currently set at 1 million streams a month. Excess royalties generated by tracks with over 1 million streams in a month would then be divided up among all recording musicians. The fund itself will be paid for large by listeners with a living wage royalty fee tacked onto streaming service subscription prices. The fee would amount to 50% of the subscription cost, but no less than $4 and no more than $10, according to the bill. So basically, also you get non-subscription ad revenue like YouTube ads. Basically, part of your subscription will go directly to the hands of the artist, though it will be capped out at 1 million streams. And at that point, after that, everything just kind of gets divided up amongst everybody.
Well, that makes sense. But the 1 million streams cap is ridiculous, because that's how much it takes just to make a dollar.
I'm going to say it right now. This is streaming socialism, where essentially you are getting your money up until a certain point, then all the rest of it will be distributed evenly amongst everybody else. They feel as though right now, as a musician, you are not, it only benefits those at the top, which
Yeah.
at that point, once again, that's called capitalism. So
Yeah.
now we want to take some from the very tippy top artists on when it comes to streaming and distribute that wealth evenly amongst everybody else after 1 million streams. Now, if you're someone who gets 100,000 streams on your independently released songs on Spotify, you might love it. If you're someone who probably gets 1 billion listens on your songs, like, I don't know, like you're a freaking Doja Cat or something, you care? Will you care too much or you care little?
Hydration break.
I'm throwing the question back to y'all. That was my moment to take a
Oh.
break. Y'all sat there, right on me.
I probably would care. I would probably care too little. I would just put stuff out there because I know I will cap out at a million streams.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, no matter what, I'm gonna hit the cap.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it doesn't make sense because, like I said, 1 million streams is how you make $1.
See, they're trying to make it so that they're basically trying to make it so that most of your money is going to these artists. And remember, they said no less than 4, but no more than 10 for your average basic, subscription service.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. It would be a double-edged sword because, like you said, if you cap out at 2 billion every song you put on
Mm-hmm.
on the Spotify or Apple Music, 2 billion listens.
Mm-hmm.
and you got that $1 million cap, 1 million cap, you gonna be mad.
Yeah, because you're going to think, because in your mind, you're going to think, well, that's my money going to somebody else. So they're making money off of my streams,
Right.
So once again, it's the age-old capitalism versus socialism argument.
Mm.
Okay, what do you think? You didn't even say nothing, K Bellz. What do you think? Hey, I'm not letting you get away from it. Get away from the question that easily.
What do I think I agree with everything you said.
Oh, she wasn't even paying attention.
No, I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
You
K
can wait
Bellz,
for Toby out because I turned off your video.
Wow.
Anyway, since she wasn't paying attention anyway, she wasn't even paying attention. So talk to me, TayDZ. How do you feel about this?
All I'm gonna say is this, man. Imagine, right, if you might put out a poetry album on Spotify. Just stay with me here with this, and you got somehow 1 billion listens, 1 billion streams on a couple songs. And would you feel like that's your money? But is it your money if it didn't even go to you in the first place?
No, I would not feel like it's my money anyway, because it would just be like, if I got 1 billion streams, or you said 1 billion, right?
Yeah.
If I somehow got 1 billion streams and it trickled down to other people, where my money going?
I don't get to be demoted. Like, no.
Yes, you wasn't paying attention to the conversation anyway.
You already took me out. Like, just let it rest.
Okay, Bellz, do you have a thought?
No, she doesn't have a thought. She wasn't paying attention, TayDZ.
Did you pay attention to at least the question I asked B, Mike? I beg you.
Do I have a thought about the situation?
She doesn't have a leg to stand on, TayDZ.
So the bill wants to boost artists' streaming royalty from fractions of a penny up to 1 penny per stream. That sounds like a lot.
No, Kate.
Okay, bro.
But they want people to subscribe. They want to raise the subscription fee. If they raise the subscription fee, that means the company's gonna get paid more, and the artist is still getting paid.
You were okay, bro. The bill wants to pay artists directly, not just through the hands of the intermediate media recording company or distribution company. They want to pay you, the artist, directly for your content being streamed. However, when your music hits 1 million streams, it caps out, and whatever other money you make from any additional streams will be essentially divvied up and spread out amongst multiple, artists. Basically, hit my own laptop. Excess money will be put into a pool and divvied up evenly of some sort.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad to me, because it sounds like even people who wouldn't really see much of a royalty would get more money than they would have seen otherwise. But then it's at a disadvantage to those people who would get a lot more. Like they put a salary cap on it. So I like the idea of people getting more money or just receiving something when they otherwise wouldn't. But I don't like putting like a limit on what people can earn. It seems like they should be able to do both. I don't really understand the purpose of putting a cap on how much an artist can earn, but there's no cap on how much the company can earn. I like the idea of having a pool of money so that like smaller people or like smaller creators can get something. But I don't think any artist should have a cap, especially when the company doesn't have a cap. Like the people who are posting the content should not have a cap at all.
Yeah, it's it didn't explain how much is going to go to the company itself. That much we don't know. But it sounds like they want to just put directly in the hands of companies of artists before it hits anyone else's hands. And it is 1 million a month. Like if you get over 1 million streams a month, then the money becomes excess money, and it starts trickling down into like
excess for who? That's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand the purpose of the cap. Like, if you generate a lot of success, it's like you're being punished for being so successful. That's not fair. I mean, it is good to boost people who, aren't getting as much attention or money, but it's like you're punishing people who are getting a lot of success. That doesn't make sense.
This is the crux of the capitalism versus socialism debate, and that's what I was telling y'all. It's the crux of capitalism versus socialism, and whether or not you support a system that essentially goes, you earn it, you keep it, and everybody else under you, good luck, or everyone helps everybody.
It's like in the NFL when, sorry, B, but it's like in the NFL when the team wants to get a player,
Mm-hmm.
And the player's saying, I want $20 million. And the team is like, oh, well, we can't give you $20 million because we still need to pay other players.
Mm-hmm.
And when they really want a star, they're going to pay all the money necessary to get the player that they really want. Suddenly they have all the money they need, but it's like for certain people or certain situations, they don't. So it's like a football team is like a company. They don't ever take any cuts, but they want the workers to take a cut. So this system of putting a cap on how much you can earn is like, the company wants the workers to, give a discount or take a pay cut, but that's not fair.
So I'll also say this because I'll say this. I feel like I personally don't mind it, but also I'm not the. Look, if it goes to a good cause and I didn't have it in my hand to begin with, it wasn't my money. So that's my opinion about it. But I will also say, socialism in this is a small example of socialism, but But here's the thing: billionaires use socialism. We just don't like classifying as socialism, but by textbook definition, it's socialism. With your NFL example, the owners use socialism as a way to share all the revenue. Even smaller market teams share the same revenue as bigger market teams. The Buffalo Bills owner will get the same amount, if not even more, of the revenue shares as the Los Angeles Rams owner. That's why every team has the same cap. Every team basically gets the same amount of money put into them. It's why losing teams get higher draft picks. It really all depends on how you want to. It depends on how far you want to go with sharing revenue, but this is something billionaires do. And look, they keep and they stay rich.
I'm not in favor. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not in favor of it sounds like a billionaire suggestion. Like, okay, on the other end, this is how the company is going to stay rich and not have a cap on how much they make. It's like Tay, if you're the company and let's say your budget is $250, right? And let's say our company is performing poetry, like B Might and I are your performers and you're trying to contract us. Okay. And let's say B Might is the headliner. He pulls in the most like people. So you're gonna get the most from him. But you've decided, we already have him like under contract. Like he has a salary cap. His salary cap is $250. Even though he's going to give us the most value, his cap is $250. So even though B Might should probably get the majority of your budget, $400, and like just give me $100, and you spent all of your $500, instead he can just get $250, and me, who's just gonna bring in like 15% of your crowd, is gonna get $250 as well, just because that's the rule. And you're gonna rake in everything you're gonna rake. You have no cap, so it's like
exactly that doesn't make sense.
Huh?
But here's the thing: the bill is not saying in this example. The bill isn't saying I'm making unlimited money.
Of course, it wouldn't say that.
The bill is saying of the available money that is made, you two will be sharing it. Maybe not even equally, but you'll be sharing. You'll be getting more of this, of this money. So I'm probably getting the same amount of money I was always going to get, which is exorbitant, disgustingly exorbitant. But
you're not taking a cut. Are you taking a cut? Do you have a cap?
Of the revenue coming in?
Do you have a cap?
According to this bill, you two will touch the money first, and you will get a larger share of it.
But
That's what the
uh,
Bellz.
Do you
one
have a cap on how much you can make?
1 penny a month is still 1 penny a month, no matter how you cut it.
Tay, answer the question. Is there a cap on how much that company makes?
The cap. I'm making the
It's
same
not a
amount.
cap. Yes or no?
I am making the same amount of money I was making beforehand. So
There
yes,
is no cap. There is no cap. There is
no, I
no
was
cap.
making the same amount of money I was making beforehand. I
Okay.
am irrelevant to the conversation because I am not the one this bill is made for. The bill is not
Okay.
made for the owners of Spotify. The bill is made for the artist. You
I'm
too.
saying it's not made
No,
for the artist. Like
it's not. It's made for the small. Yes, it's made for the small artists, but for the big artists, nah. A penny a month is a penny a month, no matter how you cut it.
Man, if you a
well,
big
here's the thing
artist,
about the penny. Like before, it was a third of a penny. Now it's a full 1 cent. So going from a third to 2/3 more, that's a 66% raise. Really, like that's a substantial raise, even though it's such a minuscule amount. But the
I also
cap
say
is what
this.
doesn't make sense.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The cap doesn't make sense
Putting a
because
cap on it to distribute to other people instead of just paying people more, period, they want to reduce how much the most are making to pay other people instead of taking a cut on their end. They're taking money out of artists' pockets still because they're expecting big artists to pay small artists instead of the company
I
paying
don't think.
more for smaller
No,
artists.
I don't think. I don't.
That's how I see it. But you know, we
yeah,
don't
that's how I see it too. Because that cap isn't gonna is gonna hurt the big artists more, and it's not gonna make a bigger difference. It's
Might
not
I
gonna make a
say,
difference.
Taylor Swift is not. It will be fine if she does not make the extra money from Spotify because her concert brought in $1 billion. She will be fine. Like if you're the bigger artist,
but it limits the ability for another Taylor Swift to exist.
Exactly.
not really.
Yes.
They're not making the majority of their money through Spotify anyway. They're making the majority of their money
Like,
through
okay,
tours.
all of Taylor's money doesn't come from one stream anyway, but like the way she was able to become so wealthy was because there's no cap on how much she makes. Like,
Exactly.
I just
No.
feel like, you know, capping the system like that, it prevents more of those people from even being created at all. So it locks the people who are already there in their place.
I might have to explain the bill more to y'all off screen because I feel like y'all aren't getting it, or maybe y'all aren't understanding
I feel like you're trying to
maybe it's my
apply
fault.
it to a macro concept, but to me, it's just
Applying it to artists makes no sense. Applying it to artists makes no sense because yeah, the smaller artists make more, but at the same time, the big, like Kay said, the bigger artists are locked in the way they are. There's no room for the smaller artists to rise up.
That's not true. That's actually.
I mean, they can rise up, but I'm saying like to become as big as like a Taylor Swift or a Beyonce, it is harder to get up there because you now, since there's a cap on how big you can become. Yes, you can become big, but it's like harder to become that big.
No, guys.
What am I over
Yes, y'all are
What?
not understanding that the amount of money that you are making from Spotify will not determine whether you are getting big or not. If you get,
I'm not really talking about Spotify anymore. I'm talking about like the concept, like on principle.
guys, this is about streaming. This isn't about you going on tour. This isn't about you signing a record deal. This isn't even about you posting your videos on I mean, a little bit of YouTube, but not even in like that kind of context. If you are on YouTube and you are getting 10 million views on your videos in a month, just because the money that you are making gets capped off at $1 million per month, or whatever the heck, gets capped off on a monthly basis, does not mean you do not get those 10 million views. You will still get popular, and then you can go on tour and make more money.
I'm not talking about popularity. I'm talking about money.
Right.
Like,
the money will
you made $1 million in a month. Well, you could have made 3 million. So when the smaller creator rises to that 1 million, well, they can't make.
When they make that,
No,
when they get
exactly though, okay. That's what we're saying. TayDZ
It's like the cap is for everybody. Like, even if you get to that next level, everybody hits the
but
cap.
that's just about how much money you will make in streaming. You will be fine when you get to 10 million views in that month, and some record label says, "Let's go on tour," and you make 10 times that much money.
You're talking about other streams of
Yes,
revenue. Okay,
you will be fine.
But
you know what? I don't want to go in a circle, like in more circles with
freaking,
it.
if
But
Deion
I'm just saying,
Sanders
I don't agree.
signed for $1 million right now on a team, he will make 10 times more in endorsements. You will be fine.
Yeah, you're talking about going somewhere else, like, to make money. And
yeah, but what?
I understand what you're saying, and I'm saying that you shouldn't. I'm just saying I don't agree with the salary cap.
Yeah,
I don't think you should be capped at how much you're paid for the value you're bringing to a platform. If you're bringing 10 million views and you're getting paid the same amount as somebody who's bringing in 1 million views, you are giving the company, that platform, more value, but being paid like as if you're bringing in the same amount of value as someone who's, bringing more views. Like, views and money, like, now they're not equating. They're equating less.
Okay.
But the attention becomes a tangible currency with money, and it's like, it's not fair.
Okay, let me see if I can put it in a way that that I think the way Kate is saying. Same with Beyonce's song Texas Hold'em. That's getting a million streams, millions of streams in the first month.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Taylor Swift, who comes out with a song, and it's making millions, but it's not making as much as Beyonce's.
Mm-hmm.
They're hitting the same cap.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting paid the same for their. So that doesn't make it's not making sense. That cap isn't making sense.
Do you think I care how much Taylor Swift and Beyonce make when they gonna go on tour next week and they're gonna make 10 times that amount of money? I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about them at all.
I mean, we're just talking about streaming. I'm saying it's not fair if you're getting more streams than someone else who is getting. If you're getting 10 million streams, somebody else is getting 1 million streams, but you're getting paid the same amount. That's not fair.
Exactly.
Because the value that they're paying you for is the attention you're bringing to their platform. That's what the platform is paying you for, the amount of views you are bringing. So it's not fair that you're being capped for bringing so much more. You're not getting paid for everything you're bringing to the owner's platform. Instead, they're taking what you would be getting paid and distributing it to other creators, when really they could take other money and do that without capping what you earn. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the bill was made by
instead
politics.
of taking something from their pocket, they're still taking something from artists' pockets. They're saying we're going to increase from 1/3 of a penny to a full penny, but they're still taking pennies from the artist. It's like they're paying you more, but inflation just increased 3 times. So really, yeah, you're making more, but you're still just, making ends meet. If that makes sense.
Okay.
It's not a boost, it's just a leveler.
This is gonna have to be a bonus episode because this is good.
But
What I can tell from this conversation, you two are not a fan of socialism, and that's okay.
It's not that I'm not a fan of socialism, but I just feel like when it has to do with capitalism,
you just argued against it. You may not realize it, but you just argued against it.
Yeah, I don't like the cat.
With this situation, like, I know I don't agree that this should socialism should be applied in this area. I think it should continue to be like a capitalist thing. I think people should make as much as they possibly can, and that people should not be limited in payment for their work. I think a company should be, or like shouldn't have that kind of control over people and like their pay. You know, like if they shouldn't limit it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it, you know, with the company being at the top, they, I mean, I don't want to say they're the capitalist in your socialist example, but why shouldn't they have a limit? I don't know.
They're not making any more, any less. Like the bill is not made for them. The bill is to specifically circumvent them and make.
Right, the bill is not made. They're still free, but it's limiting the majority. And keeping
yeah, Kay. This is one of the first times that I actually yeah.
Like, that's why I don't like. They're limiting the majority, and they're freeing the minority of people who already have a lot of power, the most money. That's not fair to me. It's like they're allowed to be capitalists and make as much money as they can and want, but
no,
you know, the majority.
I feel like maybe the main disconnect is how we feel is disregard the owner of Spotify. That's all I'm saying. Disregard them. This bill is not made for them.
Oh. Right, they don't have a cap.
Okay.
Hey, we can have this conversation more in depth on another episode. We're gonna cut time out to make another episode just about this topic. Thank you for.
You know what? TayDZ is sounding like a corporatist.
I'm the literal opposite. You sound like a corporatist.
TayDZ is sounding like a corporatist, a person who advocates for the control of a state or organization by a large interest group.
I'm not even a socialist. You
just made me like you're advocating for corporatism.
You're calling me a corporatist when I just told I'm here supporting
policy on the basis of their common interests.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
We're gonna leave it on that note.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching the Poetry Slam tonight.
This has been a great episode. This has been Poetry Slam with
K-Bellz!
Your boy Napoleon B. Mike.
Flabbergasted. I'm just gonna call it a corporatist for defending a socialist program. What? I'm freaking. I must be freaking corporatist. Oh man, free lunches for kids. Call me a capitalist. Oh boy, I must have.
You're a corporatist.
Yeah, use your Eagles hat. Use your Eagles hat.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.